The case of the late former ANC Youth League Secretary Sindiso Magaqa. Now, one suspect appeared in the Mzimkhulu Magistrates court today. The arrest is one of 28 that have been made by the special task team that was set up to investigate political killings in the province. Police Minister Bheki Cele addressed a summit on crime and violence prevention. And Cele says that the crime statistics that were released on Tuesday show that South Africa is in an abnormal crime situation. So for more on this, we are joined by the Minister. And Minister, good evening and thanks so much for joining us here on Full View.
Good morning to you and good morning to the listeners.
I know you're used to seeing me in the morning, Minister, but we're on Full View now. Good evening. So, Minister, after those very gloomy statistics on Tuesday, I think, South Africans breathed a sigh of relief hearing the good news about the political killings in KZN and the inroads that had been made there. So, firstly, explain to us how you went about, to achieve this result.
Well, it has been one of the top 5 priorities of the South African police after the President has instructed the Committee of the Security Ministers. That was on the 11th of May after the killing of Magaqa in Maritzburg. And for the first time on the 21st of May, we came down here in KZN, in Durban. We listened to the task team that was there, why there was no progress. We're absolutely not happy about that task team, so we had to remove it and bring new people all together. 126 of them were brought. But the difference was the way the team was working. For instance, it was crime intelligence driven, there were hawks, there were ordinary detectives, but more than anything, there were NPA prosecutors that were guiding all the investigations. The success that we believe we have achieved has come to that working together and a very integrated team.
Very interesting, Minister, that you say you've involved, prosecutors from the National Prosecuting Authority. And I have to ask, is this with a view of making sure that there are actual convictions at the end of all of this?
Is indeed. This team was created on the 15th of July. It's turning 2 months this Saturday. 28 people have been arrested. 3 of them have been sentenced to long sentences, 10, 18, and 15 years. So one major problem that was there before, there were withdrawal cases and a lot of easy bail. There is no bail that is coming through anymore. There are no withdrawals, which means by the time we take the case to court, we are very sure that is a very tight case. That has helped a lot.
Minister, with regard to these political killings in KwaZulu-Natal in particular, there have been a few high-profile ones as well. And these were the ones that I think many members of the public outside of the province actually wanted updates on. Now, Sindiso Magaqa, and there have been arrests. But can you just tell us where exactly that situation is at?
The Sindiso Magaqa matter has been very high profile. There are a few others, especially in the province. That would be your Magaqa Mzimkhulu, that would be the MM of Richmond. But we have managed to have a good breakthrough, starting with Magaqa Mzimkhulu. You remember the President made the announcement, instructed these ministers standing on the blood of Magaqa. 8 people out of those have been arrested. We have found 5 illegal firearms, including the ANC councillor that has been arrested among those 8 people. Sindiso has been one case that has been giving us really sleepless nights. We have been having 2 names of the people that were involved in this killing. One of those people has passed on, and one has been in prison for the cash heist. That's a question you'll have to answer. Why a cash heist person will go and kill the high-profile political person? Those are the areas that we'll have to link. We're using our analysts to work on that, the investigators to find that. But somebody did today appear in court about the matter of Sindiso, and we're chasing one more person that we have positively linked. We have positively linked the gun from this guy that killed Sindiso. So we're very confident with our case.
Minister, you also spoke about the involvement and especially how crime intelligence has helped you crack some of these cases. Now, you mentioned the question of RICA and SIM cards that are used and disposed of. So, evidently, you would need other members of the cabinet presiding over other portfolios to actually help you to strengthen your hand in this regard.
Well, we have been under instruction of the President to say all clusters, our cluster is a security cluster, that is police, justice, defense, intelligence and all that, to work together. But also there should be inter-clusters working together. This matter, I believe it belongs to the Telecommunication Ministry, and indeed will take the report because this complaint was raised by the leader of the team in KZN, the acting provincial commissioner, Mkhwanazi, to say, for instance, somebody comes here, buys a lot of SIM cards under his or her name and sells them at the corners of the street like the bread. And as it happens now, if you are beginning to trace Bheki Cele, you find them that there are too many. So clearly the law will have to be tightened up, the RICA and this. But there are other kind of new technology that we need to work on. Maybe it would be wise not to mention the technology at the present moment because it's a highly contested terrain even between the criminals and the law enforcement agencies.
Minister, moving away from KwaZulu-Natal and but sticking with high-profile cases, Senzo Meyiwa. And, you know, people still to this day are asking, the anniversary of his death is coming up once again, and people are asking, what is going on with the Senzo Meyiwa case?
I would be so much amazed, Kawendo, if you did not ask that question. I don't think there is a question I answer on my life more than that question. Whenever I go to university, talk to the students, the young people, even the serious official meeting. Yesterday I met the PP and they asked that question. As I'm coming here, I've just answered that question. This question must be answered. Let me tell you the story because I came pretty hot on the matter there and I'm still hot on it. I invited everybody that has been involved in this matter from the South African police. 40 people came. And I'm telling you, I was even more disappointed and more disoriented after I've been listening to them. Now we're starting and doing new things, using the different approaches, sometimes including the KZN one. If it needs be, including the people that we know they are good investigators that out there, but we're pulling the new team. It might take some time, but the crime will crack.
And then earlier you also spoke, Minister, about, the crime situation as per the statistics that were released earlier this week. And you spoke about how it almost resembles our country that is a war zone, given the sort of crime statistics that we have. But earlier you also spoke about closing of Shebeens at midnight. Now, can you explain to us, how you think that will actually help in maybe combating some of the crimes?
This is an interesting question. I remember when I was in MSc for Safety and Security in KZN, and my colleague and comrade, Minister Dr. Mkhize, was economic development. So in these Shebeens, economic people will see the economic development and security people will see crime on it. is not automatically that is crime to have Shebeens. But when you close the Shebeen at 4 in the morning, besides the pollution or noise pollution on that thing, so most of the time when you close that late, you find that you pick up the dead bodies around that Shebeen, either legal or illegal. Women are raped there and all. So there should be some normality to say Shebeens must close early when people are still there to monitor them, when the police are still there to monitor them. So that's what we need to deal with our other organizations again. Your local department and your LED departments will be working on granting those licenses. It's better that we come together and we find the way to say you can't have a Shebeen that is not closed at 4 in the morning.
Minister Bheki Cele, thank you so much for your time this evening. And that was, of course, our Minister of Police. And he was very busy today and also giving us the latest with regard to some of the breakthroughs in political killings and investigations into those in the province of KwaZulu-Natal.